Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Simple Language. I'm Mark, your friendly English guide. I love grammar, I love teaching, and I love helping people understand the beautiful logic behind the English language.
And I'm Brian. I love food and sleep. And honestly, I'm still figuring out English. But hey, that's why I'm here. And if I can learn it, trust me, anyone can learn it.
Brian, you were literally standing right outside the door. Why are you out of breath?
I was preparing myself, Mark. Mentally, it takes energy.
Right. Well, everyone, today we are tackling one of the most confusing, most misunderstood, most argued about topics in English grammar.
The battle has begun.
We are talking about to versus for.
2 and 4. The two tiny words. The two mighty words. The two words that have made me look absolutely ridiculous in front of native English speakers at least, 47 times?
47?
I counted.
Today we are going to break this down completely. No stress, no confusion. By the end of this video, you will know exactly when to use to and exactly when to use for, and you will never mix them up again.
Unless you are me, in which case it might take a few more tries, but we will get there together, I promise.
We have rules, examples, practice dialogues, a live quiz, and Brian has agreed to share some very personal and very educational stories from his own life that perfectly illustrate what happens when you use the wrong word.
I did not fully agree. I was pressured, but yes, the stories are real. Every single embarrassing detail is real, and if my suffering helps even one person never say for celebrate in front of their entire office, then it was worth it.
All right, everyone, let's get started. Grab your notebooks or just watch and listen. Either way, your English is about to level up.
Let's go.
All right, let's start from the very beginning. Nice and simple, no stress. Brian, when you hear the word to in English, what comes to your mind?
Movement? Like going somewhere? I am going to the store. I walked to the park. I ran to the kitchen because someone said there was cake.
That's actually a great start. Yes, to very often shows movement or direction. It tells us where something or someone is going.
See? I'm not totally lost, just partially lost.
To can also show a purpose when it comes before a verb. For example, I studied to pass the exam, or she called to say hello. In these sentences, to introduces the reason for an action, but specifically when that reason is expressed as a verb.
Wait. So to likes verbs?
Exactly. When you have to plus a verb, you are usually explaining why someone did something or what they want to do.
Okay, so to is like that friend who only hangs out with action people, only with verbs.
That is actually a surprisingly good way to put it.
I have my moments.
Now, for. Brian, what do you think of when you hear for?
Like doing something because of someone else. Like, I bought flowers for my mother. I made lunch for my friend. I stayed up all night studying for my exam.
Perfect. For is often used to show a benefit, who or what receives something. It answers the question, who is this for, or what is this for?
So for is the generous one. It's all about giving something to somebody.
I love that. For is the generous one. And importantly, for is usually followed by a noun or a noun phrase, not a verb.
So to likes verbs and for likes nouns.
That is the core of it, yes.
Why didn't anyone just say that? This changes everything. My whole life was missing this information.
And here is the golden rule that ties it all together. Ready?
Ready.
To plus a verb tells us the purpose of a person's action. For plus a noun tells us the benefit or the function or who something is meant for.
To plus verb, for plus noun. Write that down, everyone. That is the whole lesson in one line. Everything else we do today builds on those two ideas.
Beautifully said. Now, let's see what happens when people mix them up in real life. Brian, tell them about the sandwich.
Oh no, not the sandwich story.
Tell them.
Okay, fine. So it was my first week in a new city. I was trying to be friendly. I was trying to make a good impression on my new coworkers. My colleague Anna was sitting at her desk looking very tired and hungry, so I decided to do something nice. I went to the cafe downstairs. I bought a sandwich. I came back, I put the sandwich on her desk, and I said, very proudly, very confidently, "This sandwich is made to you."
Made to you?
Made to you, yes. I directed the sandwich toward her, using the wrong preposition. There was a moment of silence, and then Anna said, "Do you mean this sandwich is made for me?" And I said, "Yes, exactly, that." And then I walked away very quickly and did not speak to anyone for the rest of the day.
So, class, what was Brian's mistake? He said made to you when he should have said made for you. The sandwich was a gift, a benefit, something given to someone. That means we use for, not to.
This sandwich is made for you because it benefits her. It is for her.
Exactly. Now, when would we use to in a similar sentence?
When there is movement, like I brought the sandwich to you, because brought shows movement. I am moving the sandwich in her direction.
That is exactly right. Now, let us go through the main rules one by one. Brian, give me an example for each rule as I stated.
I am ready. Locked in, imaginary pencil ready.
Rule number 1, use to show direction or movement.
I walked to the library. She drove to the hospital. He ran to the garden.
Excellent. Rule number 2, use to when followed by a verb to show purpose.
I woke up early to exercise. She reads every day to improve her English. He turned off his phone to focus.
Beautiful. Rule number 3, use for to show benefit, who something is done for.
I baked a cake for my sister. He fixed the computer for the whole office. She saved a seat for her friend.
Rule number 4, use for when followed by a noun to show purpose or function.
Like, this knife is for cutting bread. Wait, for cutting, that's a verb. Is that allowed?
Great observation. When for is followed by a gerund, that is, a verb with ing at the end, it describes the function of something. This room is for sleeping. This bottle is for drinking water.
So, for can use verbs, but only when they are wearing their ing costume.
And to plus verb describes the purpose of a person's action. For plus verb ing describes the function of a thing.
That is a distinction most textbooks take 3 pages to explain, and we just did it in 30 seconds. You're welcome, everyone.
Now, let's try something more dynamic. A real conversation. Brian, let's pretend we are 2 friends meeting at a cafe. Listeners, pay close attention to every to and for you hear, and notice whether it is correct.
An interactive challenge. I love this. I am ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Scene. Mark and Brian at a cafe. Brian, over here. I saved this seat for you.
Sorry, I am late. I had to stop at the bookstore.
What did you go there for?
I needed to pick up a book for my English class. It is a grammar book, actually.
Oh, really? What is it for?
It has exercises for practicing prepositions. The teacher said it would help us to understand the difference between to and for.
That's great. I actually came here today to talk to you about something important.
What is it?
Well, I've been preparing a big presentation for our manager. I need your help to organize the slides.
Of course, I would be happy to help. What do you need me to do?
I need you to review the data and make sure it is easy for the audience to understand.
No problem. I can do that for you by tonight. Should I send it to you by email or bring it directly to the office?
Send it to me by email, please. That way I will have time to review it before the meeting.
Perfect. Oh, I also brought something for you. Happy birthday.
Brian, you remembered.
Of course, I had it specially wrapped for you. I hope it is useful to you.
And that, everyone, is a natural English conversation. Did you catch how many times to and for appeared?
And did you notice, not once did I say, saved this seat to you. Not once did I say, I came for talk to you. I used them correctly. Well, Mark corrected the script beforehand, but still.
The point is, when you hear them in context, they start to feel natural, and the more you practice, the less you have to think about the rules.
That is the goal, right? You practice until it feels automatic, until you don't even pause, until to and for just arrive in the right place without you having to think about it.
Exactly. And speaking of thinking about it, let's look at the cases where both words can appear in similar sentences but with different meanings. This is where it gets really interesting.
The tricky cases, my favorite, by which I mean the ones that confused me for the longest time.
There are some sentences where to and for can both be used, but the meaning changes. Brian, are you ready for this?
Cracking knuckles, let us go.
Sentence 1. I did this work to help you versus I did this work for you.
Oh, okay. So in the first one, to help you, I'm explaining the purpose of my work. The reason I did the work was to help you.
Correct.
And in the second one, for you, I am explaining who benefits. I did the work and the benefit goes to you. Maybe you cannot do it yourself, so I did it on your behalf.
Exactly. The work could be the same action, but to help explains my motivation, while for you explains who I was thinking about.
So to answers why did you do it, and for answers who was it for.
Perfect summary. Let us try another. She studied hard to pass the exam versus she studied hard for the exam.
First one, to pass the exam, the purpose, the goal, the specific target she was aiming for. She was studying with the aim of passing.
And the second?
For the exam, she studied for the exam, meaning the exam is the event connected to her studying. It does not say exactly what she wanted from it. Maybe she wanted to pass, maybe she just wanted to survive it.
Grammatically, you are correct. For the exam connects the studying to the event. To pass gives us a specific goal.
English is deep, man.
It is. Let us try one more tricky pair. I called her to ask about the meeting versus I called her for the meeting details.
To ask, to plus verb, purpose of my action. I called and the reason was to ask something. The verb ask tells us the exact purpose. And for the meeting details, for plus noun phrase. I called and what I wanted, the thing I was after, was the meeting details, a noun phrase.
Both sentences describe a phone call made for a reason, but the grammar structure is different depending on how we express that reason.
If the reason is a verb, use to. If the reason is a noun, use for.
That single rule right there will save you from 90% of mistakes.
I wish I had known that rule before the company event.
Ah, yes, the company event. We are almost there, everyone. But first, let us cover a few special cases that do not always follow the main rules.
The exceptions, because of course there are exceptions. English would not be English without them.
Let us talk about fixed expressions, things that just are the way they are and you need to memorize them.
The just because rules. I find these comforting for some reason.
For example, thank you for coming, not thank you to coming. For plus gerund.
Sorry for being late, not sorry to being late. For plus gerund.
Responsible for the project. For plus noun.
Good for your health. For plus noun.
Now, what about excited? She is excited for the trip.
For plus noun. The trip is a noun. She is excited, and the trip is what she is excited about.
And she is excited to go on the trip.
To plus verb. Go is the verb. Same feeling, different structure.
Both are correct. The word after the blank determines which preposition to use.
Noun after the blank, for. Verb after the blank, to. Even with excited.
Now, here is an important one for time.
I have been studying for 3 hours.
For 3 hours. For plus a length of time. How long the studying lasted.
When we talk about duration, how long something takes or lasts, we use for.
I waited for 2 hours. She lived there for 10 years. He practiced for 30 minutes every day.
And we use to with time expressions when showing a range from one point to another, from morning to night, from Monday to Friday.
For equals how long. To equals from point A to point B.
Now, one of the most common questions in English, what is that for?
For because the answer is always a noun. What is it for? It is for cooking. What is this for? It is for my presentation.
Compare with, why did you do that? You might answer, to win a prize. To plus verb. The question why often leads to a to answer.
What is it for leads to for plus noun. Why did you do it leads to plus verb.
2 different questions, 2 different answers, 2 different prepositions.
And here is the one that catches everyone. I'm here for the meeting versus I'm here to attend the meeting.
For the meeting, for plus noun. The meeting is what brought you here. To attend the meeting, to plus verb. Attending is the specific purpose.
Both are correct, both natural, both used by real English speakers every day.
And once you feel that, once it clicks, you're no longer translating, you're speaking.
Okay, I think we're ready for the story now. Are we ready for the story?
We are ready for the story.
Okay, I need you all to understand something before I begin. I was trying my best. I was genuinely, truly, from the bottom of my heart, trying my absolute best, okay? Keep that in mind. Just tell the story. Right, so my company, a great company, wonderful people, very professional atmosphere, decided to hold its annual end-of-year celebration event. Big hall, fancy decorations, 250 employees. The CEO flew in from headquarters. This was the professional event of the entire year. And my manager, my kind, trusting, clearly very optimistic manager, Mr. Davidson, looked around my office one afternoon, pointed at me and said, "Brian, we would like you to open the company event with a welcome speech." Why you? Because, and these were his exact words, you always seem enthusiastic about communication. Not good at communication, not skilled in communication, enthusiastic about it. There is a difference, a huge difference, a difference that I was about to illustrate for 250 people. So I prepared. I spent 2 full weeks on this speech. I wrote it, I rewrote it, I printed it out and practiced in front of my bathroom mirror every morning. I read it to my neighbor's dog through the fence. The dog kept walking away, which should have been a warning, but I told myself he was just busy. The big night arrived. I was wearing my best suit. I had polished my shoes. I had even practiced my confident walk to the microphone. Yes, I practiced the walk. I was that serious. I stepped up in front of 250 colleagues. The room was completely silent. The CEO was in the 3rd row. Mr. Davidson was smiling at me from the side of the stage. I looked out at all those faces. I took the deepest breath of my life, and I began. What did you say? I said, burned into my memory forever, I said, "Good evening, everyone. We are gathered here tonight for celebrate the achievements of our wonderful company." For celebrate? For celebrate. Yes, right there. First sentence, opening line. Not to celebrate, not the grammatically correct form, just raw, confident, completely wrong for celebrate. And I heard a sound. You know that sound when 250 people all tilt their heads at exactly the same moment? It is a very specific sound, kind of like a gentle wave, a wave of confusion. And then, from somewhere in the middle of the room, a voice said, "Did he say for celebrate?" Who said that? Janet from accounting. Janet, who I had worked next to for 8 months. Janet, who I had made tea for every single morning. But I did not stop, because stopping felt worse than continuing. So I pressed forward. I said, "Tonight we have all come together for honor our hardworking teams, for honor, and for recognize the outstanding results of this year,
For recognize.
and for thank each and every one of you for your dedication,
Oh, Brian.
and for show our appreciation for all the effort you have put into this organization." I used for before every single verb in that speech, every single one. For celebrate, for honor, for recognize, for thank, for show. At one point, I even said, and I am not proud of this, "It is my great pleasure for stand before you tonight." And I heard someone in the back row drop their pen.
What happened after the speech?
The CEO started clapping immediately, very enthusiastically, which meant everyone else had to clap too. And the clapping was so loud that it sort of washed over the mistakes, like a tide washing over a very embarrassing sandcastle. Mr. Davidson came up to me afterwards. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said very quietly, very kindly, "Brian, that was energetic. We should perhaps review the text together next time." I said, "Yes, Mr. Davidson." He said, "Also, it is to celebrate and to honor and to recognize." I said, "Yes, Mr. Davidson." He said, "All of them, Brian, all of them were to." I said, "Yes, Mr. Davidson." And then I went and stood next to the refreshments table for the rest of the evening and spoke to absolutely no one.
All right, let us fix Brian's speech, together, as a class.
Please, redeem me, in front of the internet at least.
He should have said, "We are gathered here tonight to celebrate the achievements of our wonderful company."
To celebrate, because celebrate is a verb, and I am describing the purpose of why we are gathered. We gathered with the goal of celebrating. To plus verb.
Tonight, we have all come together to honor our hardworking teams.
To honor. Verb again. We came together. Why? To honor. Purpose. Goal.
We are here to recognize the outstanding results of this year.
To recognize. To plus verb. Can you feel it now, everyone? Every time there is a base verb right after the blank, it is to.
I want to thank each and every one of you for your dedication.
To in one sentence. To thank, to plus verb. For your dedication. For plus noun phrase. Your dedication is the thing being appreciated. For plus noun.
It is my great pleasure to stand before you tonight.
To stand. To plus verb. Never. For stand. Never. I know this now. I know this in my bones. 250 people taught me this lesson.
All right, everyone, quiz time. Brian and I are going head to head. I will read a sentence with a blank, and we both answer at the same time. Play along at home.
Born ready. Well, ready now. I was not born ready. I was born very confused.
Question 1. She went to the gym, blank, lose weight. 2. Correct. To lose. Verb, purpose.
Too easy. Give me a hard one.
Question 2. I bought this gift, blank, my teacher.
4.
For my teacher. Noun, benefit. Question 3. This machine is blank making coffee.
4.
Correct. For making. For plus gerund describes the function of a thing.
Function equals 4.
Question 4. I called you blank, ask about the meeting.
2.
To ask. To plus verb, purpose of an action. Now, the tricky one. She worked hard, blank, her family.
She worked hard for her family. She was working to support them on their behalf. For plus noun.
Could to work here?
only with a verb added. She worked hard to support her family. Then it is to support. To plus verb.
Both sentences are grammatically correct, but slightly different meanings.
Worked hard for her family. Her family is the beneficiary. Worked hard to support her family. Supporting them is the specific purpose.
Outstanding. Now, Brian, tell us about the job interview.
About a year after the company event, I went for a job interview. My English was much better. I had been studying hard. I felt genuinely confident. I walked in. Smart outfit. Good posture. Big smile. The interviewer was a very professional woman named Miss Harrington. She looked at my resume and said, "Tell me, Brian, what are your goals for this position?" I thought, goals for this position. For plus noun. She wants to know the purpose of me wanting this job. I understand this. I am ready. So I said, very clearly, very confidently, I am applying for this position to grow professionally, to develop my skills, and to contribute meaningfully to this organization.
That is perfect.
I know, it was perfect. Miss Harrington was nodding and smiling. Then she asked, "And what skills do you bring to this role for the benefit of our team?" She used both in one sentence. To this role, direction, for the benefit, for plus noun phrase. And I answered, I bring strong communication skills to every project I work on. I also have experience for managing teams in a fast-paced environment.
Wait, experience for managing?
Yes, I did it again. It should be experience in managing or simply experience managing. Miss Harrington's left eyebrow went up exactly 3 millimeters. I saw it, I felt it, but I kept going. At the end of the interview, she said, "Do you have any questions for me?" I said, "Yes, this role seems to require creativity. Is there space to explore new ideas, or are we expected to follow existing processes?"
And that is perfect. Space to explore, to plus verb, expected to follow, to plus verb.
She smiled broadly at that question, and I got the job.
You got the job.
I got the job. And on my first day, Miss Harrington said quietly, "It is experience in managing teams, but otherwise, excellent English."
All right, everyone, let us bring it all home. The complete guide to 2 versus 4 in simple, clear, unforgettable terms.
This is the good stuff. Take a screenshot, take notes, tell your friends.
Use to when you want to show movement or direction towards something or someone. Use to before a verb to explain the purpose of an action, why someone does something. Use to in the expression from to when showing a range of time or place.
Use for when you want to show who benefits from something. Use for before a noun or noun phrase to show purpose or function. Use for before a gerund, that is a verb with ing, to describe what something is used for. Use for when talking about a length of time.
The golden test question. I came here blank talk to you. The answer is to talk, because talk is a base verb right after the blank. To plus verb equals purpose of action.
But I came here blank a meeting. The answer is for a meeting because meeting is a noun. For plus noun equals purpose connected to a thing or event.
Both sentences mean I came here with a purpose, but the grammar changes depending on whether the purpose is a verb or a noun.
And that is the whole lesson right there.
In 1 minute.
After a 47-mistake journey and 2 traumatic public speaking events.
So everyone watching, how did you do today? Did you learn something new? Did you catch the mistakes before Brian explained them? Did you find yourself nodding along because suddenly 2 and 4 make more sense than they ever have before?
Because if you did, that means this worked. And if you've ever made mistakes like mine, the sandwich, the company event, the job interview, then you already know these rules matter. They matter in real life. They matter in conversations with real people. And the good news is you are now ahead of where I was.
Here's your challenge for the week. Write 5 sentences using to before a verb and 5 sentences using for before a noun. Put them in the comments below. We read every single comment. We will respond, correct, encourage, and celebrate with you.
And if you make a mistake in the comments, that is fine. That is literally what the comments are for. What are the comments for? They are for learning, for plus noun. Look at me, I'm doing it right here.
And if you're new to this channel, hello, welcome. You just landed somewhere wonderful. We make English simple, we make it fun, and we make sure that nobody ever has to give a company speech that sounds like we are gathered here for celebrate.
250 colleagues, the CEO and the third row, Janet from accounting. Learn from me. I'm begging you, learn from me.
We cover everything: vocabulary, grammar, speaking, listening, writing, all of it, in a way that feels like a conversation with a friend, not a lecture from a textbook.
And if this video helped you even a little bit, if you learned one thing, if you laughed once, if you will now forever remember 2 plus verb and 4 plus noun every time you speak English, then do us one small favor.
Hit the like button right now, right below this video. It tells us that what we're doing matters, and it helps other English learners around the world find this content.
And if you want to be here, right here, for the next story, the next lesson, the next time I embarrass myself publicly in the name of English education, then hit subscribe and the little bell right next to it so you never miss a single episode.
Because next week, we're talking about something that confuses even advanced English speakers. Something that seems so simple, but trips up millions of people every single day.
We are talking about in, on, and at.
3 tiny prepositions.
3 massive headaches, and I have a story involving a very confused taxi driver, a GPS system, and a sentence so wrong the driver pulled over to question his entire understanding of directions.
Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, English is not a wall, it's a door, and it's open.